Tal? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Buenas
Buenas
noches.
noches. Buenas noches.
Buenas
Buenas
noches.
noches.
Buenas noches.
Hola, hola a todos. ¿Hay alguna pregunta? ¿Alguien tiene alguna duda?
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
Araceli.
Hola, soy nueva, acabo de entrar, no sé cómo funciona esto, no sé si esta es la primera clase o no. También quería saber si leí como que había un examen para saber tu nivel de inglés en Duolingo o algo así. No sé si, no, me podrías explicar un poco.
Claro, miren, no es que sea la primera clase, no son seriadas, entonces no se preocupen por eso. Es un club de conversación, no es una clase como tal. Veo varios nombres nuevos, entonces creo que podrían tener como las mismas dudas. La idea es que practiquen con Duolingo y aquí apliquen lo que están aprendiendo. Eso no quiere decir que no los pueda ayudar con dudas que tengan de gramática, vocabulario, sintaxis, todo eso. ¿Qué otra cosa mencionaste? Sí, el examen de ubicación es por parte de Duolingo. Cuando empiezas a trabajar, perdón, con Duolingo, te da la opción de hacer un examen de ubicación si ya tienes ciertos conocimientos para que no empieces desde el principio. Pero es por parte de la aplicación nada más. Ya que ustedes estén por terminar su carrera, en algunas, psicología y arquitectura, por ejemplo, les van a pedir que certifiquen un nivel B2 en inglés. También lo pueden hacer con Duolingo, o pueden usar cualquier otro medio que les parezca mejor. Pueden hacer TOEFL for Certificate, Cambridge, ¿sí? Entonces, pero todo eso es aparte de la universidad, ¿sí? O sea, lo que es por parte de la universidad es este club de conversación, ¿va? Adriano, dime.
Hola, profesor, buenas noches. Una consulta con respecto a la certificación de inglés, ¿también es para mercadotecnia? O sea, ¿o es solo para psicología y arquitectura nada más? La psicología para, o sea, perdón, el certificado de titulación.
De las carreras que yo estoy, hasta donde yo sé, es solo psicología y arquitectura, pero para que salgan de dudas, yo les recomiendo contactar a su coach con eso. Hasta donde yo sé son esas dos, pero para que no tengan sorpresa al final, yo les recomendaría contactarlo. ¿Va?
Ah, ok, ok. Gracias.
Nada. Maricelo.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi duda es cómo accedemos a Duolingo. Digamos, yo también soy nueva y sí me interesa bastante y quiero saber cómo accedo o cómo me dan el código para acceder a Duolingo.
No necesitas ningún código, nada más bajas la aplicación, puedes usar tu correo institucional si quieres o un correo personal, o incluso si ya tienes avances, si la has usado antes, puedes seguir con ese correo. Obviamente eso ya es como aparte del uso de la aplicación, pero siempre les digo que si ven alguna frase o algo que tengan dudas, le tomen una captura de pantalla para que lo revise aquí y se las pueda aclarar, ¿va?
Ok, gracias.
Nada. Jorge.
Sí, profesor, disculpe, buenas noches. Era mi duda parecida a la que comentó la compañera anteriormente. Entonces, no tiene nada que ver, no se vinculan las cuentas, nos certificamos y ese certificado lo podemos entregar a la universidad. Ok,
Exactamente.
con nuestro correo normal o como es particular.
Exacto, nada más tienen que presentar la prueba de la certificación y con eso es suficiente.
De acuerdo, gracias.
De nada. Pedro.
Sí, buenas noches, profe. Una pregunta. ¿Estas clases quedan o estos conversatorios quedan grabados?
Así es, se suben al canal de YouTube de la universidad para que los puedan revisar por si no pueden entrar.
Ah, ok, muchas gracias.
Nada. Juan.
Sí, buenas noches, profesor. De igual manera, es que esta es mi cuarta clase dentro del ciclo escolar y mi duda es, entonces, en base a las recomendaciones que está haciendo, puedo usar Cambridge en vez de Duolingo.
Claro, acá la ventaja que yo le veo a Duolingo respecto a otras certificaciones, aprovechando para aclarar esto, es que es en línea. Algunas certificaciones son presenciales y eso puede involucrar pues, que no siempre sean en sus ciudades. Segundo, la interfaz de Duolingo es bastante amable en cuanto a esta certificación. Y tercero, es la más barata, por bastante, comparado con otras. O sea, sí va a haber una diferencia de precios. Son como las ventajas, ¿no? Y la aceptan en muchas universidades, en muchas instituciones. Entonces, tiene varias ventajas. No se los promociono como marketing, pues, pero pues son las ventajas que yo le he visto.
Entendido, profesor. Sí, yo realicé la configuración y se vincula con la universidad, con la plataforma. Es lo que es lo que logré encontrar dentro de la aplicación Duolingo. Me parece mejor la de Duolingo que Cambridge en relación a vinculación con la universidad.
Claro.
Gracias, profesor.
No, ¿de qué? Ahora, les hago un comentario que es importante, sobre todo para los que no han trabajado con Duolingo. Si su objetivo es hablar inglés, cualquier otro idioma que puedan estudiar en Duolingo, sí debo decirles que solo usar la aplicación no va a ser suficiente. Tengan eso en cuenta porque la aplicación te va a enseñar a decir frases, mucho vocabulario, eso sí les va a ayudar, pero no les va a explicar cómo construir las frases. Por mi propia experiencia les puedo decir eso. Si necesitan como buscar otras opciones. La universidad como tal no les da una clase de inglés, por lo que tienen que pues, trabajar por su lado para la certificación en las carreras que lo requieran. Pero pues, yo estoy más que abierto a ayudarlos con las dudas que puedan tener, ¿va? Aunque no es una clase como tal, pero lo podemos revisar. Bien, y veo que hay bastantes nuevos, siempre que hay alumnos nuevos, siempre tenemos muchos. Déjenme ver rápido el chat. Hey, Carlos, bienvenido. Está escribiendo. Hola, Sandra. Hola, Noé. Pues es que no es que debas o no, Ana Lucía, es opcional también. Si quieren practicar, yo creo que les sirve bastante. Pero creo que en comunicación no te requieren la certificación. De hecho, hasta donde sé tampoco. Producción cinematográfica es importante, inglés sí, creo que es fundamental. La mayoría de las carreras, yo soy licenciado en comunicación y créanme que el 90% de lo que se publica sale en inglés y todavía tarda un rato en salir en español o en otros idiomas. Hola a todos los que me están saludando, muchas gracias. Me siento como locutor de radio cuando hago esto. Pero... Sí, pues lo mismo, Ivette, si eres de inteligencia artificial, al menos en mi experiencia, los prompts en inglés, bien formulados, todavía están muy por encima de los que puedes hacer en español. La dinámica de esta clase, buena pregunta. Casi siempre hablamos de algún tema, les pongo actividades. A mí me gusta mucho que trabajen en grupos separados, pero sí, hay algunos que todavía son un poco renuentes a eso, pero ya verán que es una buena experiencia. Y Jocelyn, sí, psicología también les va a requerir esa certificación. Bien, ya creo que ya, obviamente ya aclaré casi todas las dudas que me plantearon. Si hay alguna más, con todo gusto se las puedo responder. Entonces esperen si luego tardo en contestar lo del chat, porque prefiero darle prioridad a cuando estamos hablando, ¿va? Pero trato de revisar todo. Bien, un poquito para que vean cómo es la dinámica. Yo trato de hablarles la mayor parte del tiempo en inglés. Si algo no lo entienden, pregúntenme. Se los traduzco, se los puedo escribir. Si hay duda de algo del vocabulario también. Pero lo que me interesa es que la mayoría participe. ¿Sí? No van a aprender mucho si nada más están en modo avión. Ok, y aprovechando que ahora sí está Noé, y nos había abandonado un par de clases. Yo creo que
Sorry, teacher. Good evening. Good evening, guys.
fue por el impacto de la película de Infinity Castle.
It was amazing, teacher. It was amazing. I'm still excited.
I want to watch it again, but my favorite character,
Yeah, I know.
part, and that is something that I cannot bear with yet. 2 weeks, and I cannot. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, I watched the movie twice because at the first time I saw it in Spanish and I didn't like it, so I looked for a seat in Japanese, and I found it in IMAX also. So yeah, I love it. It's really different, It's really, and I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing about Japanese, but the subtitles are right with the dialogues, teacher. That Japanese.
Obviously, I cannot answer this at 100%.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there are slight differences that are not noticeable when you are watching the movie, and I tend to catch some words, and I have to read the subtitles. Still, I have to read the subtitles, so I can catch some words that are not exactly the same translation. But I think the company that made the subtitling is amazing.
Okay.
In my humble opinion, I would never prefer watching a movie with dubbing than its original language, and this is one of the best examples.
Yeah.
Nobody can scream like a Japanese voice actor. That's for sure.
No, the feeling, I don't know. Yeah, I prefer Japanese. Sorry, teacher. I was running already. Yeah, I prefer the Japanese. Well, I started watching movies in the original language with English movies, obviously, because I wanted to learn English. But yeah, I like it. And now I can watch a movie in Spanish, only the Mexican, right? The Spanish movies, but yeah, I love it. And I saw a big difference. The Spanish movie is kind of funny. The Infinity Castle movie, it's funny. There are a lot of how can I say that, scenes that are funny. In Japanese, no, at all. So yeah, I love it in Japanese. I had to watch the movie again in Japanese, obviously.
Yeah, and if you see the Infinity Train movie, it's super intense. I don't like it in Spanish. Pero bueno, ya ahorita oyeron, estaba hablando con Noé, no sé cuántos hayan entendido por completo lo que estábamos hablando, cuántos les haya costado trabajo. Si hay algo que no entiendan, pregunten. Y eso va a hacer que al siguiente tema, que es muy interesante, ¿cómo prefieren ver películas? ¿En su idioma original o dobladas? Y quiero un buen argumento, no me digan nada más porque así están en el cine, porque yo ando persiguiendo películas siempre con tal de verlas en su idioma original. ¿Quién quiere responder la pregunta? ¿Quién levantó la mano? Miguel.
Hello, teacher. Good evening. I prefer the original language because for the expression of the actors is changed a lot in doblaje.
Dubbing, doblaje. Sí, yo también creo eso. Aunque hay actores muy buenos de doblaje, el que hace la voz de Robert De Niro en español creo que es de los pocos que puedo decir que agarra muy bien la intención del actor. Muy bien. Javier.
¿Puedo aprender a mí?
Sí.
¿Sí me escribió la palabra?
Sí.
Hi, good afternoon. In my case, I prefer in Spanish the movies because the double is better Now, you heard about Pepe Toño Macías, the Deadpool Boys, JMMS. So he makes really cool the live because the I don't know how he do you know how do you say modismo de
Slang.
aquí?
Slang.
Live. So the live is perfect to me because I love how it makes the character. I'm sorry, I got nervous.
You're doing great. Don't worry.
Yeah, I really prefer the Spanish, the better than the English. Or I've been learning about the England double, but that is really strange. I seen Peaky Blinders in its original double, and for me was really strange because the pronunciation was different. I don't know what else can I say. That was the only series that I saw in its original language.
Yeah, but Peaky Blinders has to be one of the most difficult series to understand, especially if you're not used to British English and Cockney. That's the accent they do, and it's pretty difficult. Very good, excellent. Thank you, Javier.
Thank you.
Jorge, adelante.
Thank you, Professor. Well, I'm from Mexico, so for me, I prefer applying in English because, well, I can talk more than I can understand. So I need, for example, if we are in a conversation, I need to say, can you please speak more slowly, please? So I need to practice conversations. It's because I'm here.
Yeah, at first it's going to be complicated, but nevertheless, I prefer reading. For example, if I go to the movies and I'm watching a movie from Russia, I prefer reading than dubbing. I saw one movie, The Mermaid. It was Russian, horrible movie, very bad, but the dubbing was in English and it was. But yeah, I got exactly what you say, Jorge. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Jorge Cue.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, or good night, anytime. Well, I already attend the movies in English or Spanish. Actually, in any language I cannot, or I can talk. I rather if the movie is originally in English, I rather attend it in English. And actually, I normally attend it twice. The first time in English, if I don't catch everything, I saw it in Spanish and then again in English, but anyway, without subtitles because I want to exercise the hearing. And also, I like to read books, to read as much as possible in English. For example, currently, I am reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's pretty difficult in English initially, but I enjoy it very much.
That book is amazing, To Kill a Mockingbird.
I want to saw it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm reading the book now.
The movie is good. Definitely, it has to be one of the. It's a good adaptation, let's say that. But the book is awesome. I think that Lee Harper could really catch the feeling of that time.
Yeah.
It's a very good book. If you like reading, I absolutely recommend you 1984 by George Orwell. If you are on that kind of reading, I think that you can enjoy that. Very good. Thank you, Jorge. Bernice.
Berenice Hernández, ¿verdad?
Sí, sí, sí.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Perdón por hace ratito. honestamente sí se me dificulta mucho la pronunciación y por ende tampoco entiendo mucho el inglés. Este, sí me gusta ver las películas en su original, perdón, en su lenguaje original, que sería este, pues como las turcas o las chinas, japonesas, pero por el acento o em, por el tono tal vez, pero honestamente las que son de inglés, no le entiendo. Esas, sí me perturba un poquito el estar leyendo y estar poniendo atención.
Sí, sí, entiendo, entiendo. Mira, la primera que dijiste sería esto. I like watching movies in its original language. A veces una frase a la vez va a hacer que todo sea más fácil. Créanme. Él ahí lo que dice es, me gusta ver películas en su idioma original. Entonces, pero no se preocupen, poco a poco. Al principio, pues como todo cuesta, pero poco a poco van a ir agarrando mucho más inglés y van a practicar listening, que es algo muy importante. Muy bien, gracias, Berenice.
Gracias.
Iván, adelante.
Bueno, ¿me escuchan?
Sí.
Ok. Bueno, tampoco hablo muy bien el inglés, pero voy a tratar de hacerlo mejor cada día. Pero voy a hacer un esfuerzo. ¿Ok? My favorite movies is the anime. For example, Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, Infinity Train, Dragon Ball Super Broly. I like it for well, I like I see in Spanish because the actor voice it's awesome as Mario Castañeda for Goku, René García for Vegeta, or Iman Bastidas for Tanjiro Kamado for sus voice and expressions.
I completely agree with you in terms that Mexican dubbing has to be one of the best, and one of the worst has to be the one made in Spain. That's horrible. But yeah, I really like anime too, and it's more like a recent taste. I started watching anime like in a more serious way with the Infinity Train movie. After that, a friend told me you're gonna like this anime. I was like, okay. I always like anime, but not in a heavy way. And I watched that movie and I was completely hooked from the first moment. And I watched that in Japanese. So, and I'm learning Japanese. So for me, it's more natural to look for Japanese anime. But Mario Castañeda, for example, is a great actor. Uh, Derbez, in the other hand, I cannot stand him, but that's only my opinion. You're completely entitled to disagree with that. But very good. Thank you, Van. Gladys.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Okay. I enjoy watching movies with original sound. Could be with subtitles. Sometimes it's good. I think that translation changed a lot the movie.
Very good. Thank you, Gladys. Luis David.
Hello, good evening. I like to watch movies on the original language rather than the dubbing. But when I, when my wife, I had to watch it in Spanish because she doesn't like too much the English version. So because she got distracted with the subtitles as well as of the other person mentioned it. Well, uh, sometimes it's quite difficult to follow up the all the ideas on the movie. For example, the Oppenheimer movie was quite difficult to follow up all the conversation because they speak very fast and it was a complicated subject. So was quite difficult for me to understand all the words. So I had to activate the captions for that. So in order to follow the idea, and in even in some cases, I have to rewind some scenes in order to understand the idea clear. But because it was very complicated movie, but I like the watch the movie in the original language. But I agree with Ivan. There are some series or movies that the translation is very good. So if you really enjoy the translation uh, instead of the original language. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that too. For example, I'm not a big fan, but watching Dragon Ball in Japanese is tiring because the voice is so. Uh, Goku's voice, at least, is I cannot stand that, and in Spanish is very good.
Yeah.
I, I get it. Yeah, so sometimes you have to, and especially if you have a partner, you have to negotiate. You cannot force any way. But yeah, I understand that. Very good. Thank you, Luis.
Sorry that you are talking about Dragon Ball. Have you heard about the Freezer voice in Japanese?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was Mario Castañeda or some other actor, but yeah, I've read about the process that he had to create a very specific voice, despite of
Mhm.
the original. And the client, at least as far as I know, was very pleased about these changes.
Mario Castañeda is the Goku's voice. I don't remember who's the Freezer voice or this other person that really make a good work.
Gerardo Reyero es Freezer. Ya, ahorita lo busqué, pero no me acuerdo.
Yeah, that's right.
Very good, thank you. Rafael?
What's up, everybody? I just came to say hi. I have a class tonight, so I'm not going to be able to stay the entire class or session, but I just wanted to say hi. And it looks like you're having either allergies or coming out of a flu. It sucks when when you can only breathe through your mouth and not your nose, and I think that's what you're doing right now. I'm just um, observing the class.
I'm dying. That's like it was today is the first day, and yeah, I feel like you know how I feel. But duty first. Yeah,
Un buen tequila con limón, and it's gonna make you forget. It's not gonna take it away. It's gonna make you forget.
you know, once I did that. I tried with tequila once, and later with mezcal, and yeah, eat a grapefruit and drink mezcal, and you're going to feel excellent the next day. I had one of the worst flus in my life after doing that. It's not that bad, you know. I'm not feeling like I'm dying actually, but it's like the overall no symptoms are very uncomfortable. But I hope I get better soon because I have a major gig on Friday, and there's nothing worse that playing when you're sick. I hope I get better. I'm drinking
Well,
like lots of water.
you guys enjoy the class, the session. It's always great. It's good seeing you faces that I've seen for a long time. And I think the fact that I've seen you for over a year and a half, almost 2 years now, I can, you can tell when you're sick. And I think this is the first time in the last 18 months that you actually look like you could take the day off. But like you said, duty first.
Yeah, yeah, and it's been a long time since the last time I got sick, so I hope it doesn't last too long. Thank you, Rafael. Very good, excellent. Adriana, yes.
Hi, good night. This is my first day in here, and always when I see the movies is with subtitles, but I think like it is better see the movie in the original version because in my experience I used to see tutorials in English, and I think when you see the tutorial and you see the transcript, not always it is the same thing that they try to see to how do you say when you try to explain to you. I don't know if it's,
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
but
Very
I
good.
think
Thank you, Adriana.
it's better that experience.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Very good. Noé?
Ivan Alberto was first, ¿no?
Sí, perdón. Es que se cambió ahorita que Adriana estaba hablando. Sí, muy bien. Iván, adelante.
Okay. In my opinion, it depends. The dubbing could be better in some movies, but or the original in some series of movies, like other says other person says. But for an example, in JoJo's the dub, it's so bad. I admit. I see the series JoJo's in dubbing, and I don't like the dubbing version because they changed the names of the stands or some or the name of some characters because the stands make reference musical artistic or musical reference or that's it on or in another case, in better case, the movies could be the dubbing version. It could be better. Like I don't know. An example it could be the Shrek. Shrek. I like the dubbing version of Shrek because the modems is makes more funny. Uh, ¿Cómo se dice comparación? Compared to the original version, and that's it.
That's a very good point. Shrek is a very good example of what dubbing can do. It made the movie legendary for Mexico, but for another Latin American countries was not that funny because what Derbez did, and I'm not a big fan of him, was the word in Spanish and in the dubbing world is tropicalizar the dialogues, and he did it. And ask someone from Argentina, for example, if he or she liked the Mexican version. It's difficult. Obviously, you're going to like it because it's more funny. It's funnier than the original version because the jokes are pretty local in some cases. So that's important. And that's why Disney, for example, makes dubbing for different regions. They learn from that. Well, not that movie for experience, but you know. No, ahora sí.
Actually, I wanted to talk about that. The comedy movies, cartoon movies, some of them I prefer watching in Spanish because of it's more funny, you know? With the idioms, the slangs, with all those things. For example, Shrek, Happy Feet. I prefer watching that in Spanish. I wanted to say another. Los Reyes de las Olas. I don't know the name in English, but it's about penguins surfing. So, and yeah, it's really good in Spanish. In English, I haven't seen that in English, but I really enjoy watching that movie in Spanish. There was another Kung Fu Panda, obviously, when they are fighting the oh my god, I forget the name of this tiger when he was fighting with Shifu. Yeah, it's amazing in Spanish. I haven't seen that movie in English, but yeah, I really enjoy it in Spanish.
Jack Black does an amazing job in that movie, but I only watched that. The first one I watched that in English, and the second and third I think I watched that in Spanish. They're very funny. Another example of a very good comedy movie dubbing has to be The Hangover. ¿Qué pasó ayer? I watched that in English and I love that, at least the first two parts. And when I watched that in Spanish, because a friend told me you should do that, and I was like, oh man, this is wild. Because I was not used to watch US films with that kind of Mexican language and bad words, especially, and I was laughing. Death, death in Spanish is awesome. In English too, but in Spanish I cracked with that. Very good. Thank you, Noé. Consuelo.
Hello, my name is Consuelo. Me cuesta trabajo pronunciar inglés y entender el significado de inglés. Y a mí I like to watch with Spanish dubbing webcam. The stories is better and also.
Very good. Thank you, Consuelo. Créeme, un ejercicio que es muy útil es ver películas en inglés con subtítulos en español y una vez que ya las conozcan, véanlas con subtítulos en inglés y luego sin subtítulos. Es un proceso que puede ser un poco largo, pero funciona. Muy bien. Alexander.
Hi everyone. I prefer to watch the movies in the original language, especially the American movies. But I like to watch animated movies in Spanish because I find them more funny, like Cars of Pixar. And also, I watched the Demon Slayer, the Infinity Castle in Japanese. I like it, and I could really feel the effort the voice actors putting in, and that's it.
Very good. Excellent, Alexander. There's one thing that I was, when you mentioned Dragon Ball a few minutes ago, I was thinking in Japanese, I don't know, I think Krillin's scream every time he got blown in pieces, sorry. I think that the Spanish version is legendary. The Japanese is like, okay, he exploded again. But in Spanish, you get that feeling that this could be the last time he's going to be around. Carlos, adelante.
Hi guys. A ver si lo digo bien. The movies or series that originally in English, I prefer to watch in the Spanish because I don't like reading subtitles. And I feel that the movies I'm interested in the dobladas. But Korean and Japanese movies or series, I prefer to watch in the original language because siento que es más difícil la interpretación o el doblaje de ese idioma a nuestro idioma.
de japonés a español.
Ajá. Sí, bueno, cuando son...
Sí, sí, te entiendo, te entiendo. Es que sí hay algunas cosas que yo he notado que son difíciles de traducir, sobre todo porque el japonés tiene palabras únicas, lo cual es muy curioso porque también el náhuatl tiene palabras que son imposibles de traducir a español y pues ahí ya te metes en problemas, sobre todo cuando hay doblaje. Cuando hay subtítulos, pues ya como puedas, ¿no? Pero sí puede ser complicado. Muy bien, gracias Carlos. Araceli.
Hi, everybody. Well, I like to watch movies. Depends because sometimes, for example, like you guys were saying, if it's in like British, I I like it because I learn, but it's really difficult to understand certain words. But I like the accent, so I prefer to watch the movie in the original language. But sometimes, for example, I'm not really into I don't know if an anime you say it like that in English, and yeah. Um for example, those movies I like the ones that are like spirits and everything, but I like it in English. I cannot watch it in the original language because it's this super distracting and it's really difficult for me. And but I feel like it's really cool to watch the movies in their original language. For example, like Spanish from Spain. But sometimes I prefer to watch it in Spanish because if, for example, if it's from Russia or another country, I don't know, the translation is not really good, or the mouth doesn't look like when they are talking, the mouth doesn't seem like I don't know how to say it, like coordinated or like at the same time. So yeah,
Synchronized.
synchron. Yes.
Yeah, I hate that too. And I've seen that in a lot of United States dubbings and Russian dubbings. It's no, I cannot. I prefer to turn off the TV because I cannot deal with that. My I don't know. Probably there's something wrong in my brain, but I cannot tolerate that. And you were talking about British accent, for example. You like the accent? Well, that's what I understood. My original accent is British, and there's a couple movies that had defeated me. I can tell you about one named the Cook, the Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. It's 1989, I think, something like that, and it's a British film. I could not understand a lot. I had to turn on the subtitles because I was completely lost. At some point, it's very difficult to understand all the accents. I think that England has a lot of difficult accents. You can try Cockney, you can try Scouse, and they're pretty hard to understand. But well, it's worth the try because I cannot imagine. Have any of you watched the movie Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law? It's so funny seeing Robert Downey Jr. trying to do a British accent and Jude Law destroying his accent in 2 words. Uh, it could be difficult, but I think that being a blockbuster movie, it has to be more uh, relaxed. Above war, but that's Cockney. That's completely Cockney, no? Above war. Oh, me, I'll be ready to put a knife in my chest in it. That's Cockney too. And obviously, you know, it happened to me with my high school students. They were always making fun of me when I say I try to have a neutral accent. You've seen that, but sometimes I cannot hide it when I say, for example, November. I cannot hide that, and they made fun of me, and I was like, I don't care. I like my accent. Yeah, above all. That's funny. That's just a joke. Say this in Spanish.
Corta panda?
Uh-huh. Now add with cheese. Yeah, say corta panda with cheese.
Corta panda with cheese?
When you go to London and you go to McDonald's, you have to say that a corta panda with cheese. Those fall quarter.
Corta panda with cheese. Ah, quarter panda.
And I was like, what? What is this? The guy in front of me was saying that, and I was like, what? What's a quarter panda? It was like they have a very strong accent, but I think it could be the same for something who speaks English and try to understand a very specific accent. Another question, just to finish. In your own countries, what would you say is the most difficult accent to understand? Le traduzco para quien responde. En sus países, ¿cuál creen que es el acento más difícil de entender? Sandra.
Hi, teacher. Hi, everyone. From my country, I will say that the people from the Colombian coast, because they cut the words in the end, and it gets a little difficult really to understand them, and especially also because they speak too fast, really, really fast.
Can you do that accent?
I don't know. Mirabe? No, that's from Cali. Oh, teacher, I'm trying to think about it, but
Yeah.
no, I am sorry. I lost your voice. Give me just one moment, please. Teacher, I am sick too.
Te pregunto, Sandra.
Sorry, teacher, do you hear me? Sorry, my headphones didn't work. No, that I am sick too, teacher.
¿Sí te oyes bien, Sandra? Sí. Bueno, yo te oigo bien. Supongo que los demás también.
I cannot hear.
Sí, pero.
She sounds sick.
Yeah. It's a good way to start the week.
I know, teacher, has been a special week for me.
Ok. Sí, bueno, lo que le decía a Sandra, si podía hacer ese acento, es que para alguien que no es de Colombia, el acento puede sonar muy parecido. Es un detalle. Pero bueno, a ver si ahorita...
I didn't understand. What do you mean with that? I didn't get it, sorry.
Sí, o sea que a lo mejor tú puedes hacer ese acento y para ti suena muy diferente, pero para alguien que no es de Colombia puede sonar muy parecido.
Teacher, no, I would love to be, to be good in accents.
Yo soy, pero siempre es como, mejor no lo hagas, pueden golpearte.
No, but it's cute, it's part of our culture, and I love the accents in my country. It's just, it's hard for me, and it's really good when people knows to do those accents, and when they make jokes, they are really good.
Yes, especially people from Mexico agree.
Teacher, but I can't do Mexican. That's the good thing. I have a coworker that I can't say. Always we say, "Hola, güey. ¿Cómo estás, güey?" That's easy for me. No manches. Ándale. La croca, la marketing. You see, I really sound good for one.
Te diré, no suena tan mexicano en algunas cosas. Lo más chistoso que me ha pasado, tengo un alumno que es de Canadá, un alumno de guitarra, y cuando nos conocimos por Zoom, fue así de, eres de México, ¿qué pedo, güey? Pero hizo con ese acento.
Sorry.
Esa es la referencia. Me dio mucha risa. Muy bien, Sandra, no mueras. Muy bien, Jorge, adelante.
Well, I'm Mexican and Yucatecan. And no, I say that Yucatecan, we are so strange. So, for example, we say, Pelana, ¿qué haces? Pelana, it's very different in non-Mexican people. Our accent is it's special. Not only accent, and also the words. The words. For example, my touch, or I will say in Spanish, mi touch, mi chichi, ¿qué haces, pelana? And it's very strange in Yucatan. So
Yeah, and you are from Yucatan?
yes, of course, I'm from Merida.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. Please.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So actually, I live in Puerto Progreso, at north of Merida, 20 minutes from Merida. Yes, and 4 blocks before the beach. So yes, I'm Yucatecan.
I've been a couple times in Merida, and it has to be one of the hottest places I ever been. And I went there with my band to play some gigs, and it was a very very good experience. But the heat is overwhelming. And I remember I have a friend, she's from Merida, and when we were in college, she always said, "Oh, me estoy wishando." Is you what? And yes, yeah, later she explained that, and I was like, "Oh, you want to go to the
I need to
bathroom?"
go to pee.
Yeah, I have to go pee. And I was like, "Oh," and you use a lot of Mayan words.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting, but for the rest of the country, it could be very difficult to understand that.
By the
But
way.
it's part of your culture, and I think that it's amazing that you can integrate that heritage with the actual life. It's amazing. The heat, I cannot tell you any good thing about that because I suffered, but it's a very good place. I enjoyed being there. I was there for like 4 or 5 days, and it was very good.
Well, for
Good.
Yucatecans, when we go to other city, for example, Mexico City or Chiapas, for us it's very difficult to understand too, because our language is very special. So I need to have a conversation for 3 or 4 days, and maybe I can to start to understand. It's very very difficult for us because we speak in Mayan and Spanish. It's a combination of words.
Ay, la vez. I remember that too.
Oh yes, it's not Mayan. It's only Yucatecan.
Yeah?
Yucatecan.
It sounds like
Elades, yes, of course.
pelaná también. That's
Yes.
that. I hear that a lot.
Plana. Yes, it's plana.
And what is that?
No, I can explain here because it's very hard to explain. But I can send a link. Let me send a link, and you can watch. Please, it's very very fast. If you want, you can have a conversation. I will try to find the link, and I will send you to by the chat. Okay?
Nice.
It's
I
also
can learn Yucateco.
It's not a good
Yes,
word.
it's very interesting this video. Let me find it.
it's also confused that the Yucatecan people use the word search and find for in the same buscar. It's the same meaning for search and find. I think lo busco y no lo busco. O prestar. Le presto, le presté a mi vecina. O me prestó mi vecina. I think you can explain better.
It could be pretty difficult to understand that. Another one that I cannot, well, I had to understand that, by the way, was koi. When they explained me what koi was, okay.
Okay, I have already find it. Let me try. Like the chat. This is a sample of Yucatecan words. It's in the chat. Or may I show my screen? May I share? No, better.
We're almost out of time, so
Yes,
we will
of course.
talk about this in the next class because I think it's quite interesting. Alguien faltaba, perdón, de hablar. ¿Y quién era? Bajó la mano ahorita. Iván, adelante.
Perdón, es que era una pregunta que me hice ahorita. How speak ¿qué la tenían de aquí? One second. How speak Yucateco in English?
You can say Yucatecan.
But the sound, the words.
Es una muy buena pregunta. Hay cosas que no se pueden traducir, simplemente van a ponerle esa terminación. O sea, mexicano, mexican, yucateco, yucatecan. Pero inténtenlo con Veracruz. Y ahí es cuando mi sugerencia es, se quitan de problemas y dicen, he or she is from Veracruz. Y ya. Los patronímicos son muy difíciles porque hay unas reglas, pero están pensadas en el idioma original. Eso es para todos, ¿no? Un punto al que me diga cómo, sin buscar en internet, cómo se le dice a alguien que es de Cádiz. No busquen en internet, solamente si saben.
¿De Cádiz?
Ajá, de España.
Cádiz, España.
Se le dice gaditano. Exacto, Noé, exacto. Cuando estaba en la maestría y me enteré de eso fue de, jamás lo hubiera pensado. Se va a ver ese video también ahorita que terminemos.
Como los de Galicia.
Gallegos.
Gallegos. Como que está más fácil, pero aún así todavía no.
Sí. Y son complicados. Eso también es una de las cosas que, digo, jamás se las van a poner en un examen de certificación. Quitando los que son muy obvios, ¿no? Pero sí pueden ser muy complicados. ¿Jamaiquino o jamaicano? Por ejemplo, en español.
Jamaiquino.
Los dos están aceptados, pero yo siempre digo jamaiquino.
Sí, yo también.
Sí, muy bien, excelente. Muy bien, estuvo muy bien la clase, participaron muchos, eso me encanta. Y los hidrocálidos, sí. Yo creo que dijeron, pues ya, ¿qué le vamos a hacer? Bien, vamos a dejarlos acá porque no quiero retenerlos más tiempo. Nada más para terminar, les recuerdo, si tienen cualquier duda de lo que practiquen, de lo que vean, de lo que estudien, pregúntenme. Siempre al principio de la clase yo les pregunto si hay alguna duda. Me gusta porque siempre acabamos explicando más cosas que algunos que no han preguntado pueden tener dudas. Va, nos vemos el jueves, que tengan excelente noche, descansen, cuídense. Sandra, si todavía es por ahí, mejor. Que estén muy bien. Nos vemos.
Muchas gracias, profe.
Buenas noches a todos. Good night.
Thank you, profesor.
Bye.
Bye.